Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John and I have another milestone moment. It is the 45th anniversary of Presence by Led Zeppelin. So before I begin, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I do rock and metal reviews, rankings, and more. And as always, if you open up the video description, you will see the video divided into chapters. So if you do not have time to watch the entire video, you may skip ahead and watch the parts you would like to watch. Led Zeppelin is a band that I have been listening to for a long time. I've probably been listening to this band for the past 40 years. And it seems like I've always had like different favorite albums throughout different periods of my life. When I first started, I was really into Led Zeppelin 4. Then there are other periods I was into House of the Holy or Physical Graffiti. But for some reason, this album, Presence, never really clicked with me. I already did a video when I first started my channel. I wasn't really experienced in making videos at the time. I will link it at the end if you do want to see it. But when I did do that video, I probably didn't really like the album as much. But it's the 45th anniversary and I decided to go back. I'll do another one. I'm going to re-listen to it and I'm going to just do like a deep listen. I'm going to like really pay attention to the riffs and just really try to like pick it apart just so I can give it another chance. See if I can like it a little more than I did at first. Now this is one of those albums that some Led Zeppelin fans like less than others. And I do know a few people who have said it is their favorite. So in the past 2 days alone, actually this morning, Jeff Whitcher put out a contest entry. And in his contest entry, he talked about my Led Zeppelin tier list. And because of that, I got like a lot more views and comments coming in on my tier list. So thank you, Jeff, for that. But I was talking to a few people. One channel, his name is Tommy's Vinylnaut. So he mentioned to me that he said Presence was his favorite album. And there's another channel called Zeppearl. And just by the name alone, this guy's a big Led Zeppelin fan. But he watched my tier list video and he considers every album to be at the top, the S tier. And he also mentioned to me that Presence was Led Zeppelin's progressive rock album. So I did listen to it again, keeping that in mind, just trying to listen for the progressive parts. So by the way, Jeff Whitcher, Tommy's Vinylnaut, and Zeppearl, please subscribe to all of those channels. If you haven't, they're all great guys, great channels. And I will put channel links to all three of their channels in my video description. So back to Led Zeppelin. I'm gonna talk about the background now. The album was written and recorded in the last few months of 1975, and it was a really difficult time in the band's history. Robert Plant was recovering from an accident, and most of the album was recorded and mixed by Jimmy Page, and also most of the songs were written by Page and Plant, with the exception of Royal Orleans, which was a full band effort. Now this is a kind of like a unique album. Doesn't really have any keyboards and doesn't have really any acoustic guitar. It's really just like a straightforward rock album. They recorded the album fairly quickly, and the album was even completed one day before Thanksgiving. And Robert Plant even suggested that the album be called Thanksgiving, which kind of would have been interesting in the band's history. Now this album is also considered to be an EP, even though it is 44 minutes long. I really like the cover art on this album. It was created by an English art and design group based in London called Hypnosis. Now I'm gonna like put that in the text right there so you see how it's spelled. The album cover is basically a family sitting at a dinner table, but there's a strange black obelisk or something like that on the table. According to the artist, it was intended to represent Led Zeppelin's force and presence. But this black object will always remain a mystery. I think there is like a short documentary on YouTube about this, but I haven't watched it. But it is like a very pretty cool cover. So the first song is Achilles' Last Stand. Now this song is very epic. It's 10 minutes long. And what's interesting about this song is John Paul Jones played an 8-string bass, and that gave it a really distinct sound. Robert Plant wrote the lyrics based on traveling across Africa in 1975 with Jimmy Page. And Jimmy Page, when he did the mixing, he added 6 guitars in the overdubbing, and it gave the sound a really rich sound. I really like the galloping rhythm section in this song. It almost gives it a slightly metal feel. The song also has one of the most memorable guitar solos. It's a really hard driving song. It's long, it's 10 minutes long, but it keeps the same pace throughout. And there are some pretty cool vocal overdubs towards the end of the song, and I really like that. Next is For Your Life. So this is a very unique song. Jimmy Page plays a Fender Stratocaster on this, and this was his first time recording a song with that type of guitar. I really like the guitar riff on this. It has a slightly distorted tone. John Paul Jones's bass tone really sounds very good here. And this has a really cool guitar solo at the 2-minute mark, and it's just one of those solos that kind of seems to jump out of nowhere, and I thought that was awesome. Next is Royal Orleans, and as I said before, the song was written by the 4 members of the band. It was inspired by the Royal Orleans Hotel in New Orleans. The lyrics pay tribute to Barry White. This is the shortest song on the album at 3 minutes. I really like this one, and it's a good song. Track 4 is Nobody's Fault But Mine. So this is an awesome song. It begins with this start-stop riff by Jimmy Page. Some really cool finger bends when he plays the riff. I really like that part, and I like the guitar effects. And this is a really good mid-tempo rocker. Robert Plant plays some harmonica on this towards the end of the song. And this song was based on an old Blind Willie Johnson blues song, originally titled It's Nobody's Fault But Mine, which was originally recorded in 1928. Track 5 is Candy Store Rock. So this is basically a song inspired by 1950s rock and roll. The intro riff is very bluesy, really has a pretty cool slide guitar on it. Now even though this is a 50s style rock and roll song, there's still some tempo changes and breakdowns, mostly towards the end. And I really thought that was cool. Track 6 is called Hot Sun for Nowhere. Now this was written about Robert Plant's time in Malibu, California, when he was recovering, as I said before. Jimmy Page plays a Strat on this one, and this one also has a very cool start and stop riff in the intro, and I really like the guitar solos on this one. That's a really standout. And track number 7 is T for One. This is a slow blues song written by Robert Plant. It's about his struggles being separated from his family. The song is very bluesy, and it's really meant as an update to the song Since I've Been Loving You. Really like the intro to this. It starts out as a rocker for the first 30 seconds, but it just slows down, and it's a slow blues song. This is one of those songs you just sit back and relax with. It's great with headphones, but one of those songs you just sit back, relax, pay attention to the guitar, the leads. And this is the last track, and that is it. Let me know, what do you think of Led Zeppelin Presence? Is it your favorite? Do you like it a little less? And let's get a conversation going in the comments section. And I have another milestone moment tomorrow. Stick around for that. And I will link my original review of Presence in the in-video links if you want to check that out. Subscribe to the 3 channels I mentioned earlier. And that is it. I will see you in the next one.